Well, we've now had 3 tunes in the key of C, and we've been alternating the bass like this. The bluesman, the guitarist who taught me how to play the guitar was Reverend Gary Davis. Now, when I would play the guitar in this style, he would say, "Oh, Stefan, that's old-fashioned picking." And I would say, "Okay, well, if it's old-fashioned picking, what can you do in it?" And he started to show me various tunes. And this first one I'd like to show you of the Gary Davis repertoire in key of C is a tune called "You Got the Pocketbook and I Got the Key." It's a lovely title. He never sung it for me, nor did he ever record it, and I never got it on tape myself by him playing it. So I'm going to play you where I remember how he taught it to me, but let me first talk a little bit about some of the ideas. Whereas the other 3 tunes, we always started off with a C note. That was our root note in the C chord. But with Gary Davis, he plays this C chord. Now, if you take a look at my left hand, you'll see that my ring finger's on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And the 5th string is dead. We're not even going to play that. So that's going to be the C position. After that, the F position is as we've had it. In fact, for this tune, you don't even have to bar the 1st fret of the 1st string. So that's going to be open, though we're not going to play it. We're not going to play that open 1st string. And then we just have a plain G chord. A side note on the G chord, he sometimes would play it this way, and sometimes he would play it with his thumb over on the 3rd fret 6th string. That will make everyone very happy. Now, why would he do that? It would allow him to put down his ring finger to make a G7, and then sometimes even get more elaborate G7s. That's a real finger buster. Look at that one. We're not going to be doing this in this lesson, but this is a nice G7 to try to learn. Take a look at that. You have your thumb, then your middle finger hitting the 2nd fret of the 5th string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th. You have the open 3rd. Pinky has the 3rd fret of the 2nd, and your index finger the 1st fret of the 1st string. A real, well, difficult chord to play, but it was one that Gary Davis played with ease. So let me play this tune for you. It's called "You Got the Pocketbook, I Got the Key." It starts off, instead of like this, as I say, we're going to be in this C chord position, and it's called reverse picking because it doesn't start from the low bass, it's going to start from the 4th string bass. So let's hear it. Now this is one of the loveliest tunes. I just love playing it. And let's take a look at it slowly. It's not difficult. There are a couple things I want to mention. Hammer-ons and pull-offs. When you have to do a hammer-on and a pull-off, you really want to feel that your skin, your left-hand fingerings are really going off the strings or hitting the strings. A hammer-on, you're literally hammering on the string. A pull-off, you're literally pulling off the string. So when we start, this first pull-off is my pinky comes down, and the pull-off has to be parallel to the fingerboard, going down, and you're literally almost like chopping an egg or slicing an egg. So you start off with the 4th string bass, pull off, now into the F, another pull off, again, that G chord. Pinch, pull off, F, hammer on, hammer on. So rather simple, but it has such a lovely flow to it that you really want to feel completely in control of the guitar, so you get that musicality, that lovely atmosphere that this tune picks up. As well, let me mention two other things. Reverend Gary Davis played with only two fingers, two meaning thumb and index finger. And this is sort of mind-boggling, because if you think of the great finger-picking guitar players, both white and black, and I mentioned this many times in seminars, workshops, and in guitar lessons, almost all of them only played with two fingers. Let's see, white players, Doc Watson, Merle Travis, only two fingers. In bluesmen, we have Mance Lipscomb, Reverend Gary Davis, Lightning Hopkins, just two fingers. Mississippi John Hurt and Skip James, they use three. And my approach to playing with my right hand is to basically use two fingers with the help of my middle finger and the help of my ring finger if I need. I say if I need because my ring finger probably comes into action about, I'd say 4 or 5 times in a year. That's about it. So you have to find out what feels comfortable for you. I wouldn't suggest you use a classical position in playing this type of music, where you have your ring finger on the high E, the middle finger on the B, and the index finger on the G, on the first, second, and third strings. That doesn't seem to work. You don't really get the feel of it. And remember, the sound that you're trying to get is mostly in that thumb. The thumb is really setting the carpet for it. And the other thing you may have noticed is my right hand position, and almost all the players that I met, white and black musicians, they all rested either their pinky or the ring finger or the pinky and ring finger on the face of the guitar. There are a couple that didn't do that, but they're very rare in this type of guitar playing. Let's split the screen now and let's try to play You Got the Pocketbook, but I Got the Key.